Hey, what's up guys, it's me again and welcome back to my channel Mayta What Ifs. Today I am back with a new story. The name of the story is What If Olympian Gods Reacted to Hephaestus as Madara. And yeah guys, it is an unscripted story. Now before continuing, the shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to the 1898. He has been requesting this idea for quite a long time now, but I was quite scared, to be honest, to put out this idea since I mainly focus on Naruto and stories around him. So this will be for the first time that a side character from Naruto universe is going to be the main character of our story. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you do, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins on Mount Olympus on a sunny day in which we see, as per usual, there was an argument going on between the king of the gods, Zeus, as well as his older brother, king of the sea and Atlantis, Poseidon. As currently, both of them were debating whose weapon was much more practical and stronger. I'm telling you, my trident commands the waves and is much more stronger than your puny lightning bolt. Well, if that is how it is, then why am I the king and you are not? I am literally a king, Zeus. King of a different domain, but not the king of gods. As both of them were butting heads on this, we see Hera was drinking wine from her gauntlet, looking exhausted as per se, as Dia was with a frown tending to her hearth, remaining quiet nearby. All the while Demeter was arguing with her daughter and her son-in-law slash older brother, Hades. You will pay for what you have done to my little baby. Mother, for the last time, I love Hades. Why can't you accept that? I will never accept that. He kidnapped you and forced you into this. As Hades had a deadpan expression on his face, literally Persephone is saying the opposite of what you have said. Why can't you let it just go, Demeter? Said Hades, rubbing his temples, while on the other side, Artemis, Apollo, as well as Athena were having an argument of who was the coolest of the three. Well, it was Apollo who started it alongside with Hermes, but Athena and, well, Artemis got fed up and were now involved in the conversation. The only person who was silently watching this was Hephaestus, as he was lazily just tinkering with a small machine in his hand. As he sighed, man, I miss back the elemental nations. Maybe I should reincarnate there once more and let loose for a while. While on the other side, we see that is when the Fates appeared, and they had a cold look on their face. Fates, a surprise visit. I was not expecting you. We do not obey your command, Zeus. We only come when it is in need of us. Here. Then speak. What is it that you wish to speak with us? It's about one of the gods here that has broken the code and law. A divine one. What law has been broken? And who was it? Everyone remained quiet as Hephaestus, his slightly eyes widened. As he rubbed his temples and sighed, I did, I guess. What? You? Hephaestus, what would you have done? Said Zeus, almost looking as if something was wrong here, because Hephaestus has never done anything akin to that, never revolted, and he would break a divine law? He was mad, but he didn't expect this son. As Ares then said, you know what, cripple? I might even like you a little bit if you might have actually broken a law or something. As Apollo then said, with a whistle, you seriously did something bad? Oh boy, I knew you had it in you, Heap, said Hermes, because he was, well, the god of thieves and whatnot. So what law did you break? He reincarnated himself, using the time space itself, slowing the time here and going there. What? Said Zeus, why would you do this? I had my own reasons. If you won't reveal, Lord and King of Forges, we will, said the Fates. Do you think I'm afraid of you, Fates? As seeing the new side of Hephaestus, they were all stunned. Hephaestus, what is the meaning of this, son? It is as I said, father. I haven't done anything wrong. As you can see, nothing is wrong here with this reality. I calculated each and every move. I just needed to vent. Vent? Vent for what? Have you seen around you? Looked around you? The people here can get on your nerves. More than one. Enough. He said as his eyes burned with flames from the forge. I needed some way to vent out. So, I reincarnated myself in a domain that is ruled by Shinto Pantheon. What? You talked with the Shintos? It is forbidden by Chaos-sama itself to never speak with another Pantheon, let alone a multiversal one. I did what I had to do. I couldn't take the chance risking it over here because I knew I would have been caught easily. And yet you are here still, son, said Hira. I thought it was Ares who would usually cause trouble. Not you. I expected more from you. Yeah, me too, mother. I expected a lot from you. As Hera flinched and looked down, remembering what she has done to her crippled son. As Zeus then said, Hephaestus, tell us what you have done. I have a question before that, to Fates. Why does it concern you? Why does it matter to you? Because you have messed with the Fates, messed with us. Fates everywhere are the same. It was the child destiny of that child of prophecy to win and save that world, and you let it doomed. So what if I did? They were a threat to Father's domain over here, because they were getting closer to the time space. It needed to end. Even if you are right, that doesn't give you a right to destroy what was never meant to be. As the Fates then said, we will show you his crimes and then we'll leave him to be judged by you. Fairly, Zeus. As Zeus gulped and nodded. And so now we see they witnessed a few years back Hephaestus looking exhausted. Tired of seeing his wife, the one woman that he had loved truly from his bottom of his heart, betray him again and again with his brother who hated him. Seeing and hearing these thoughts, Aphrodite felt hurt. She was the embodiment of love, and yet she couldn't see the purest form of love from her own husband. But those feelings have died down, his flames turning cold for her. He never loved anyone after that. I mean, who could he love, aside from his demigods that he had? That is why none of his demigod kids ever died and were born with talents, all of his talents at that. As now we see, they see that Hephaestus was bored, tired of everyone treating him like servant of theirs. Hephaestus repaired this, Hephaestus repaired that. He needed a break. No, screw that. He needed to find a way to vent because he tried to take a break a few years back. And what did they do? Called him back on the very second hour because they made a mistake and a blunder and destroyed a lot of stuff that he had to rebuild with his Cyclops. So, now, using the time space from the site of Kronos itself, he was able to form a device that allowed him to dimensional jump into another reality altogether. Once he arrived there, he met with the Kami, Yami, and Shinigami, the Shinto deities of that reality who ruled over a domain of their own. After speaking to them of how he arrived there and what he wanted to do, they allowed him to visit only on one condition, and that was to be reincarnated as Madara Uchiha, the one who is supposed to be the one that is going to bring the destruction to this world. And Hephaestus, seeing this as, well, a task, agreed. And once he did so, he immediately went on with the reincarnation process, and the deities did so, forgetting the most important detail, that he was supposed to fail in the end, making the child of prophecy win and making the humanity realize that they could be taken out if they don't get their act together and form peace treaties, which the goddesses have been trying to make them form without intervening for years upon years to no end, even before the age of chakra itself, as Hephaestus, now reincarnated as Madara, was born into the clan warring era. From then onwards, he was taught that the Senjus were the biggest enemies of Uchiha, but Madara knew that his horizons must be broadened because he was Hephaestus in disguise. And as Madara grew up, at the age of a kid, an early teen, he met with Hashirama, and both of them somehow, against each other's odds, became friends. By now, Hephaestus was already used to his life as Madara, and was aware of his true goals. And as he grew up, the friends turned into enemies again because of the clan's conflict, but it ended when Hashirama was about to sacrifice himself to make the clan warring era stop between the two clans. And at that moment, Madara stopped him. And once he did, the age of the elemental nations kicked in. Konoha was established, but after that, Madara knew that he had to fulfill his duty. Because even if this peace was peaceful, he had a job to fulfill. And that is why he betrayed his friend and his own village and clan and started a war. A battle which he was surprised that he lost. And once he returned, after his death to the Kamiyami Shinigami, Madara was not satisfied. Hephaestus was not satisfied. I apologize. I might have failed. I would like to try again because I was distracted with my friendship and whatnot. No, this is how it was supposed to go. What? You will be revived when the child of prophecy is now born. You will see it. When your time comes, you will be revived again. And then is when you have to fulfill it. How? Why did you not tell me this before? It's because the fates deemed it necessary. Of course, the fates. Hephaestus knew that the fates always have been the power player here, and even back from where he was. As this was going on, the whole events were being washed by the gods, as Apollo was the first one to say, "You look so cool" as Madara. And even Aphrodite had to admit that her heart skipped a beat when she saw Hephaestus' Madara. Even Hera and Zeus were quite impressed. This Madara personality of yours. As Hephaestus then morphed into Madara, as his black armor appeared, and so did his black hair. His pale skin, as he settled down there with a gun bay next to him. As even Ares was impressed. See, now this is what you call the true god of forges. I can become much more than that when I'm like this. You see, Hephaestus and I, even if we are the same person, have different personalities. That is why he has suppressed me. And for a good reason. Said Madara with narrowed eyes. And most of the goddesses and gods felt that they felt chills run down their spine when they saw the gaze of Madara. His eyes, which were red, blood red with tomos in them. You have to be, truly cool to make us flinch. And I, being a god of prophecy and god of sun, and being extremely cool one here, I am certainly impressed by this. 10 out of 10. Whatever. Let's continue. As Madara disappeared, as coolly as he appeared, as Aphrodite stopped and said, "You have to remain like that." "What?" said Hephaestus. "That Madara form of yours, it's amazing." "And why would I stay like this?" I would love it. I'm your wife, you should listen to me." "Oh, after thousands of years, now you realize that you're my wife." As Madara appeared once more, "Sorry, lady. I loved a woman back there. She died because of an old age. I had a grandson even there. So, yes, I had a fulfilled life there. Something that you, even after you were reborn 10 times, as the embodiment of love and beauty, could not give me. Because I don't see you as such. I despise you, Aphrodite, with every fiber of my being." And with that, Madara disappeared, causing Aphrodite to break down and literally shed tears because she has never been so heartbroken by anyone, especially Hephaestus. "Hephaestus, you did not need to say that in such a harsher tone," said Artemis, surprisingly, because she, even though was against Aphrodite, would always stand by women. I see, so you all are okay and would rather remain quiet for thousands of worth of years of torture that I endured by the hands of this woman. And if I stand up for myself once, then that is the issue, the problem. As Artemis looked away, conflicted as well as nerve, because what Hephaestus has said was true. Mark my words when I say this. I won't help you from now on. I won't mend your bows whenever they are broken, even your own. After hearing this, everyone's eyes widened. Hephaestus said, Zeus, I know, son, that Artemis might have said something insensitive to you. Insensitive? I was born and thrown out of the Mount Olympus. Why? Because of my mother's jealousy, because of your infidelity. And later on, when I returned and claimed my place amongst you, I was treated like a joke, has been for years to no end. As Hephaestus' fire burned brightly, forgetting about what they were witnessing, Hephaestus then morphed into Madara, but his armor was different. Instead of the Uchiha Sigma, there was the Sigma of the Hephaestus himself, as he then said, with a snarl, as his eyes, which were red, turned into golden blazing flames like Sharingan, as he said, mark my words, father. The only reason I'm loyal to you is because I don't need any more headache of being a leader. I don't want to be a leader. I already had people who admired me and loved me, even if I betrayed them. And that is all there is to it. To me, those were my people, which unfortunately I had to betray at the time. But now I have brought them here with me. What? You brought them here? That was the end of the deal with the Shinto battle. I brought them here and they reside with Uncle Hades down in the underworld in the fields of Elysium. And hearing this was shocking to everyone. Why did you not tell us anything about this, Hephaestus? Do you think I would tell you of all the people, mother? Why should I? You never bothered to ask me if I was doing okay or not. You turned blinded eye towards this buffoon over here, doing whatever he deems and sees fit. Well, whenever I was out of line, even the slightest, I was criticized. Heck, I was born and you threw me out of the Mount Olympus. So shut up, please. As Zeus and everyone else sighed, as Hermes they said, as much as I like the drama that is going on here, it would be better if we finish up what we were seeing or being shown by the fates. It is kind of disrespectful to them. Do what you must. And so, once again, Hephaestus settled down in his new form, the blend of Madara and Hephaestus all together. But he was no longer a cripple, but Madara in reality with the powers of Hephaestus. Because this was his strongest self, the self that stood up for himself. As they witnessed Madara being returned, and this time alone, single-handedly wiping out 100,000 shinobis Konoichis combined, existing amongst them some of the elites as well as S-rank shinobis and even 5 Kages, and still winning. Heck, at one point he was rebirthed, meaning completely reborn and reincarnated into his own self. He was blinded and was wounded, and he still had a smile on his face, while he, without a weapon in his hand, fought against 5 Bijus and the Shinobi Alliance, or remaining of it. And that shocked everyone who was witnessing it. How are you able to do such damage? Years worth of training. I've honed my skills. Then I was known as the Yami no Shinobi, a title that befitted Madara. As everyone was even more impressed, as Zeus began to doubt that his crippled son that he thought was no longer a threat was now the biggest threat he has ever seen. Again, father, you do not need to worry. I do not need your throne. If I would have wanted it, I would have taken it years ago. How so? Zeus, I am the one who repairs your weapons. Don't you think I would have tampered with them? And that in itself now scared everyone. Because he was the forge master and the one they tended to whenever they needed an upgrade or something akin to help dealing with weapon stuff or forging stuff. Next time be careful, Ares, when you call me a cripple. Who knows, your ex might fail you when you're in an important battle that might cost you to fade. As Ares gulped, realizing that this was not a threat because there was a visible smirk on his face. This new form of his brother Hephaestus that he usually mocked was something that was both awe-striking and as well as something he could respect, begrudgingly even. And so, now we see they all continued to witness. He eradicated them. Even Naruto Uzumaki. He literally killed him when he returned after meeting with the sage and gaining the power of the Sun Seal with his gunbei as Naruto was slashed in half. Killed brutally. Madara didn't care, and when Zetsu tried to betray him, even Zetsu was killed. When Kaguya tried to break free, Kaguya was killed, giving him the karma mark, but then she consumed Kaguya's soul. It was Madara Uchiha and a god of forges, disguised as Madara Uchiha nonetheless, mind you. And Kaguya couldn't face an immortal being such as the god of forges Hephaestus, so she ended up dying. And that is how the world was doomed. Hephaestus returned, and that is when he saw the panicked expressions of Kamiyami and Shinigami. You were supposed to lose, Lord Hephaestus. Why did you not tell me that? And before they could argue or even condemn him or even start a war with their pantheon, they realized, it seems we might have been the one to made an error. Says Shinigami, while looking towards her sisters. We apologize. We should have been more clear to you. Yes, you should have been. All this mess could have been avoided. Well, you have done well. What do you request? I wish to take this form with me, this power that I possess. And then there is that, my clan. I want them all to be coming with me, except for Sasuke Uchiha. That piece of trash can remain here. And so, the whole clan now resided in Elysium as Madara stood in front of his own family. His wife, a prime beauty, appeared in front of him, slapped him across the face, and Hephaestus revealed everything to them, and they were shocked. And when Kamiyami and Shinigami arrived there and revealed the truth to them, they realized that Madara, no, Hephaestus was telling them the truth, and he was not their leader only, but also was the god of forges and whatnot. And after hearing about this and his reality, his wife still accepted him. As after the vision blurred, the fates then revealed. He has been harboring this secret. And what is it to you? It disturbs the balance between the two realities altogether, two whom should have not met even. Look, I have gone through time and space. I have seen the other realities. And trust me, I've seen much worse. You can't control me, I'm beyond you. Mind you again, and I still have this. As Hephaestus brought out a gadget as his palm opened and it was appeared there. It was a small piece of paper. Read it. And once the three faced their eyes widened and they narrowed. You might have been able to get away this time, Lord Hephaestus, but mind you again, if you try to pull something like this again, then there will be repercussions. And with that, the three fates left. As after the three of them left, Athena then asked, what was that, brother? That was a letter from Chaos, a favor that I was owed by it. It was time to cash it in. How? You're not the only ones who come to me with your struggles with tech and whatnot. Even the almighty being of creation and void does. And hearing that was now even more concerning because they realized that Hephaestus might have more connection and might be the powerful god there than any of them could have imagined. I think your son is the most strongest god. That ends the debate. Said Poseidon to Zeus, from where the debate began. As after that we see Hephaestus in his Madara unified form that stood up and said, I'll be in the forges. Don't bother me now. And with that, Hephaestus left in flames. As Athena then said, Hephaestus might be something that we did not even consider as a threat. We should know. I trust him this much. Said Zeus, surprisingly. He wouldn't betray me. If he wanted to, he would have already. With the strength and the backups and connections that he have, he would have not failed, Athena. And you know it more than me. Yes, said Athena begrudgingly. As now we see, one thing was clear. Because of the fates, if you cross or try to cross Hephaestus, you will pay, and pay dearly, if he is in a bad mood. And Aphrodite, she was the one who actually lost in the end, realizing that she might have been the most foolish woman to ever cheat on Hephaestus. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and follow me on my Apologia channel as well. As this is it for the day, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.